It's time now for our a la carte segment. France 24 reporter Clovis Casali joins me in the studio for that. Clovis, you're just back from Dubai, which is currently hosting for 6 months that World's Fair. It's an event that has a long and unique history that many might not know about.
Absolutely. It dates back to the 19th century. And these world fairs sometimes even helped shape urban landscapes. Take Paris. Take the Eiffel Tower. I'm sure you know this, but some of our viewers might not. The Eiffel Tower, the Tour Eiffel, was built specially for the 1889 World Fair. Actually, at the time, it didn't quite win over all the people of Paris and the French people. Many wanted it to be brought down. They wanted it to be destroyed. Ultimately, it stayed, and of course, it's a very important landmark here in France. So before the age of internet, of mass media, these world fairs were really a chance for nations from around the world to get together, to exchange on their cultures, to show their various technological endeavors, inventions. This was also before, say, the United Nations, the General Assembly. So it was really an important moment for leaders and foreigners to get together. Take a look at these pictures. They're pretty incredible. They were filmed by the Lumière brothers, who are seen as many as first pioneers, but also the inventors of cinema. The Lumière brothers and their teams filming in 1900 Paris. Take a look at all of these pavilions along the Seine, built specially for the World Fair. And look at these parades, pretty traditional, a little folkloric there, and basically this really shows you the spirit, the atmosphere in these world fairs. At the time, it's a bit less the case now. So I've just returned from Dubai for Expo 2020. It was postponed 1 year because of COVID, and you didn't have maybe as much celebrations on the street, but there were a lot of technological inventions presented.
And speaking of those technological inventions, what do you think were the highlights at this year's Expo? Do you think there's anything that may stay around like the Eiffel Tower?
Well, for one, you have to say that the United Arab Emirates and France really put forward their space program, and that's as technological as it gets, basically, showing how you bring men to space. Very important for the French and also for the UAE. A lot of the pavilions, because each country, more than 190 countries, had their pavilions. You even had countries like Afghanistan, Syria, many others. Israel, for the first time, invited to such an event in the Middle East. There was a lot of virtual reality, 3D. Here you can see probably my favorite. That's in the Pavilion France. It's basically a chance to visit the construction of Notre Dame. You get a tablet, you scan a QR code, and then you find yourself in this really interactive, immersive experience. You move around with your tablet, and you can see all around Notre Dame how the buildings were. You can click on workers, see what they're doing at different parts of history, different parts of time, different stages of the construction of the Notre Dame Cathedral. This until, of course, the ravaging fires and the destruction of a large part of the cathedral. And so that was very interesting. What was also interesting was to see so many CEOs, so many businessmen there in Dubai, because clearly, it's very much about getting lucrative deals done, not necessarily straight away, but also in the years to come. And that's why also you have the French Foreign Minister, Jean-Yves Le Drian, coming here, praising the work of the UAE, saying how incredible this Expo World Fair was, and also, of course, the UAE, one of the richest countries in the world. So the idea is to get deals signed with that country, but also with the neighboring nations in the Gulf, and also any nation in the world that's present at the World Expo, at the World Fair.
And speaking of those, all of that praise, Clovis, rights groups, for their part, have accused the United Arab Emirates of essentially using this expo to whitewash some major human rights abuses, specifically as far as the treatment of foreign workers goes and political opponents. Was any of that discussed?
Not really. It was an issue clearly in the back of everybody's minds. We tried to ask questions about it. Not many answers regarding this very sensitive issue. Beforehand, you had the European Parliament saying just boycott this event. You can't be sending delegations to Dubai when you see how badly treated, according to them, how badly treated are low-paid migrant workers, those who are here to build this incredible venue. Take a look at that. We're speaking over 4 square kilometers of a new neighborhood built in the middle of the desert. I can tell you it's very warm. It felt like 45 degrees Celsius. It was around 40 every day, boiling hot temperatures in the middle of the desert. And they built this neighborhood that's there to stay. It will be a new neighborhood of Dubai. So a lot of criticism also from NGOs saying it's intolerable to organize such an event in Dubai. Dubai is just trying to clean off its image, polish its image, show that it's an open nation. And when you talk to the people of the United Arab Emirates, they're very proud of their country. The residents there, the citizens, the Emirati citizens, they say, look, our country's young, it's stable, the government's brought us prosperity, and we followed one family. Let's take a listen to what they had to say.
I want to tell the world that we are modernized people. We would like the world to know about Dubai, about Emirates especially, how great our leaders are, and how we are tolerant, like a country known for its tolerance, multicultural, like everybody from all nationalities. We live here peacefully together.
And those families we met were so happy, so proud to have this event. First time that the Middle East is hosting such an incredible, huge event attended by powers from around the world. It's important for foreign nations to be present. We spoke to the General Commissioner of the French Pavilion, who explained to us why he was impressed by this event and also what it meant to be there for France. Take a listen.
It's the first time the region hosts such an event. It's an event designed to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the creation of the United Arab Emirates, so for them, symbolically, it's very important. It marks the strong place of the country on the international stage. We, France, are here to contribute, to create ties with the UAE and with other countries. What's sure is we want to show that France is here, just like Russia, Germany, China, and a few others.
Well, thank you, Clovis, for that update on the Dubai Expo.